Myths are stories about how gods interacted, how their projects and programs unfolded, and what processes shaped the world around them. When people described the gods, they did so through their own emotions, their fears, and their desires. And yet, if we pass these divine characters and their stories through the filter of our own lives, we find striking similarities. Myths become not just tales of old, but algorithms, codes of reality that still run through our modern world. Zeus builds the patriarchal system. To him, women are forces to be conquered, energies that must serve his order. His children, in turn, must live under the governance of the father, working as a team to keep the system running. This is the structure of Zeus. But what of Apollo? What is his program? His parents are Zeus, the universal mind, and Leto, the perfect structure of the cosmos. Why perfect? Because Leto herself was born of the primordial gods. Coeus, the axis of the universe, and Phoebe, the prophetess, the living database of fate itself. From this lineage came twins, Apollo and Artemis, a divine pair, embodying male and female not in one body, but in an inseparable union. The ideal balance of masculine and feminine. Yet Hera, Zeus's eternal tester, demanded more from Apollo than from Artemis. For in Zeus's patriarchal order, men were tasked with driving the system forward. She kept the goddess of childbirth away from Leto so long that Apollo was born only after 9 days of labor. Later, she stirred Apollo to vengeance against Python, the serpent who, by Hera's will, prevented Leto from finding a place to give birth. Python was no ordinary beast. He was Gaia's living program, the endless womb of Earth, birthing new functions and forces beyond Zeus's control. To Zeus, such freedom was dangerous, and so Apollo killed Python, sealing the entrance to Gaia's womb with the Omphalos stone, the navel of the earth. There, Delphi was founded, and the Oracle was born. But with this act came Gaia's curse. Apollo severed Earth's primal flow, and in return he lost her blessing. Artemis, however, remained untouched. The feminine principle was never cursed. Thus, Apollo could not access Gaia's voice directly. He needed the feminine energy of the Pythia, the priestess, to speak with her. The first Pythia was Daphne, the beloved who tried to escape him. Through the Pythia's madness, Gaia whispered the future, and Apollo passed these prophecies on to Zeus, shaping them to fit Zeus's grand design. Over time, Apollo built the cult of the Oracle, placing male priests between himself and the Pythia. Men were easier for Zeus's system to manage. Delphi became sacred. Apollo, the great prophet. His temple bore the words, "Know thyself." The message was simple. The oracle does not carry your responsibility, you do. The meaning you take is yours, your choice, your burden. Apollo also gave humanity 147 rules for living in harmony with the gods. He was called Musagetes, the leader of the Muses. With them, he placed culture, art, and beauty in the service of civilization. But Apollo was cursed again. A satyr of nature, Marsyas, once found Athena's flute and played it so beautifully that he dared challenge Apollo himself. Of course, the god's music was greater, but his pride could not forgive such insolence. He flayed Marsyas alive. For this, Rhea, mother of nature, cursed Apollo a second time. Twice cursed by the mothers of earth, Apollo was forever cut off from the primal powers of life. Unlucky in love, abandoned by women, shining only with outer brilliance but hollow within. He fathered many children, yet only two became truly known: Asclepius, the healer, and Orpheus, the poet. Apollo was noble, cold, a god of aristocracy, incapable of laughter, untouched by simplicity. Beside him always stood Artemis, goddess of honor and passion, but untouchable to men. Bound by Zeus's order, she was always placed second, though her power was equal. Together, Apollo and Artemis embody the balance of male and female, the ideal consciousness Zeus sought to shape. But the question remains, could perfection exist not in two, but in one? Yes, Zeus created it. It was Zagreus, Dionysus. We shall continue our search and our decoding of the myths. And to you, thank you. Thank you for your attention and for the time you spent watching and reflecting. If you wish to support this project, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to follow the next investigations of crazy mythology. And may it all work out for us.